Good morning everybody and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Volmer, and today is all about my Loco projects today. Now it is actually morning, however because of the way that the light comes into the flat, it always affects the lighting whenever I do a video from this position, so the blinds always have to be down, but it's absolutely a very snowy day outside here in Alton today. Luckily, I was working last night and the snow hadn't kicked in, so I made it home last night from work and it was fine. And when I woke up this morning, it was very white. Anyway, so today is all about the Loco projects, like I said, and I have quite a bit to tell you. And things have come on and moved on, but not quite as quick as I'd like. I'm still waiting on a number of bits to turn up. A few bits and pieces have been turning up this week. One of the bits that have turned up is, I seem to say this every week actually, whenever I do a video. And also just briefly on that, my videos have been a bit slower and a bit kind of not as much content because of my work schedule at the moment, and I guessed that was going to be the case. So I haven't necessarily always had the time or the inclination to be able to do stuff to the railway, just because of my working shifts, but I have nonetheless managed to get a fair bit done this week. So one of the things I wanted to say is, like I said, every week I seem to say thank you or mention Alan in some sort of way or form, and he put me onto this little pin drill set, and that turned up today. Well, not today, it turned up a few days ago. And it's a useful little tool actually. I did have one of these and it came in useful, well, it came in useful with both, with one of the 73s, and it would have come in useful if I had this at the time on the other 73. But we'll get to that afterwards. Also, what's turned up today, well actually let's go straight into what I have been doing. So turn the volume down. What does that sound like to you? Right, let's check, make sure we have. So we're going to bring in our first contestant. And it will be coming into view, it's just coming into view now. And here it comes. So this is my Bellman Pullman Class 67 by Hornby. I've had it for a little while now. So you're probably thinking, why is this being shown? Basically, this is the sound chip that I removed off my Arriva 67. So this is one of the projects I wanted to do. So I haven't really been using my Arriva 67, and I wanted to get it out along with these beautiful coaches, which once again Alan had kindly given to me. So yeah, and I wanted to run this 67. I hadn't run it for a while, and I just thought the sound chip's being wasted on the Arriva 67. So the Arriva 67 is now back to DCC ready, and this one has now got the chip that was in the Arriva 67. So off it goes. So the next thing to talk to you about is just coming into view very, very shortly. And those of you who've had a quick look at my Facebook page this morning will know what you're about to see. And I got a new Loco. Well, I say I got a new Loco. I basically picked it up yesterday and it's just coming into shop now. So, a little while ago, I bought the Hornby Class 73, this one at the front. And I've since converted it to a 73.9 and did the jumper cables and the pipe work, the connectors, repainted the chassis and did the lighting and the buffers. And the little light that goes on the top as well. And a question came up, I think it was from Paul Higgins, and he asked me about whether I was going to get another Class 73. And the answer is quite clearly, yes, I have got another 73 added to my fleet, to top and tail, and to do double heading. So as well as picking up that 73, I'd also received a couple of decoders which I'd ordered online. And basically the decoder that was on this one originally, the first 73, was different from the two decoders that I bought. And so they didn't really speed match very well at first. And so what I did is the two decoders, because they were both the same and I got them from the same place, I basically fitted those two decoders into the two 73s and now they run together really well. So that was one of the jobs that I've had to do, a further job that I've had to do on the 73.9. And I'm just going to remove the 73.9 so you can see the 73.1, which I'm converting. So as you can see, this is the second of my 73s, excuse me. And as you can see, it is actually different from the 73.9. It is pretty much fairly similar to the one that you buy straight out of the box. But it has had some modifications, as you can see. The most obvious modification that it's had is that it's had the roof repainted. In fact, that was repainted this morning. And so the roof's been done because this is going to be converted into 73.141. And as you can see by the numbers, is that the I've blanked out the numbers already. I've just left the 73, but the 964 I've taken off. The nameplate is still there. However, that isn't really a big issue because basically I've ordered the transfers. These are the long-awaited transfers that I'm waiting from Railtech. However, I have been assured that they are on their way to me with some additional transfers, which I will talk about shortly. So in the end, I've gained out of it. I've managed to sort it out, added to my order that was delayed, and now I've kind of gained out of it. So I'm pretty pleased. I mean, I haven't seen them yet, but I'm looking forward to getting it. So basically, I've been told that the transfers for this 73 are on the way, and the nameplates. So this particular Loco will be converted to 73.141, and it's called Charlotte, and it has I think it's black nameplates or dark blue. I can't remember. I think it's black. It isn't the bright orange that you can see sort of on the end there. That is still Jeanette, but I haven't bothered painting that because I'm literally just going to line up the other nameplates that I'm going to get and put it straight on top, and that will just take away the whole orange nameplate from underneath, because basically I chose 73.141 because this is called Jeanette and it's quite long, but Charlotte's even longer as a nameplate, so that should definitely cover that particular nameplate. without me having to sort of paint over it. There was a few other 73 1s and 73 2s which had shorter nameplates, which could have meant that the one underneath would still come through. But Charlotte was one that was long enough, and it was different. I liked it because it had the grey roof, and I wanted to spray the grey roof and make a difference out of it. As you can see, I've also added the big round buffers on the front of it. So I've got rid of the really rubbish buffers that come with it. I don't know why they still got them. It looks nothing like that on the 73, but that's just Lima for you, Hormy Lima, I should say. I don't know why they still use those, but these are, for those of you interested, those are Lima 47 buffers. And usually these buffers are push fit, but on my first 73 they came off easily, but on this one they didn't. So I've had to kind of pull them out and then use that pin drill that I've just showed you just to drill through the holes and poke these in, and added a bit of glue just to make sure that they don't go anywhere. So for now, this is about as far as I can go with it right now, although I've got the lighting to do on this one. This one will have lighting, so I can use this one as the front loco for night running shots, and I can use the 73.9 for daytime running shots, since the 73.9 hasn't got any lighting in that one, and won't do, whereas this one will do. At the moment, it's been pulling the ballast train, which I think it looks really nice actually with the ballast train. So that is another little project that I've been up to. So there you go, it's back together with it's the 73.9. Just before I go and leave you off this project, just to let you know, just to give you a rough idea, that these two locos were £62 each. So that's £124. And the decoders that are in them are really cheap. They're £10 each. So that brings two locos DCC fitted for 144, brand new. And they run really well double headed. So let's just see them on their merry way. So finally, for today's video, we're going to talk about those two. Basically the two Class 60s, which is my Class 60 project, which a few people have shown quite a few interest in. One of them is DCC fitted and the other one isn't. The other one is just on the dead track. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm still waiting on parts. Basically, I've now got some of it, which is basically I've now got a TTS chip for the 60. I've now got the socket. I've also got the socket to do this other one as well, so I can actually get this particular one sound fitted on, and get this one up and running on DCC. So that one is, but I'm waiting on couplings and I'm waiting on buffers. Basically, I've worked on the other one. The other one is DCC fitted and it's sound fitted too. I've worked out how to do the NEM socket, although I only had one left, and basically it needed a slight modification, but I haven't got any more. So I've got some more couplings on order. But I know exactly how to sort that out. It's not a problem. I'm just waiting for the parts to come through. So I'm still waiting on buffers and, more importantly, the NEM sockets for it. So what I'll do is I will bring this one in. So let's go to, it should be, I don't think I've adjusted the code, the address on it. Let's see if that's, no, it's the other way. So here it comes into shot. So this is running on its original. A few people had asked me if it was if I was going to swap the motor out on it, but they're really, to me, I'm not really too fast. If I can get it slow running like that, then I'd be really, really happy with that. So this is the Lima conversion. So it's now been converted fully to the DCC. So that's now ready to go. And it's also got sound, which I've now put sound in it. So I've still got the lighting to do, and obviously do the repaint. Now the reason why I haven't touched the body yet is I just needed to figure out in my mind how I was going to do the lights on this, and whether or not I needed to drill out any of the headlights and tail lights on here, and what I was actually going to do. What I've decided to do is, I did say I was going to go all out into town on one of these, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put headlights on the front end, which isn't this end, it's the other end actually. This is the coupling end, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't fitted it yet, but I do know how to deal with that. But I'm just going to put headlights on it. I'm not going to bother putting any tail lights in it, because it's only going to be travelling in one direction. And when it's pulling a load, it's never really going to have the tail lights. So it's just going to make life slightly simpler for the wiring of the headlights, which I'm going to do. And then I want to put some instrument lights in it. And I also want to put a smoke generator into this as well. So I've already looked into all of this, and I'm hoping to get this all done. But what I needed to do is, before I touch the body, I just wanted to make sure that the theory worked. So I've managed to get I put one of these LEDs, and I've put it underneath the body, and it seems like I don't really have to touch or drill out any of the lenses on the front of this, which I didn't want to do, to be honest, because I didn't want to ruin the look. I did see a Class 60 on eBay going only last week, where somebody had converted it and put lights in it, and they did a pretty poor job of it, and it just looked pretty ropey. But it just proved that you could do it. So I've got this 60 now DCC fitted and sound fitted. This one isn't. This one's just DC. But if I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you, but as you can still see, that's got the kind of oval buffers on it, and that's wrong. So I'll just put that there because it's just easier. So it should really be basically have these kind of buffers, which I'll show you, which is kind of the more rectangular with the curves on it. So that's what I've done. I've got some more on order. So that should be here along with the couplings, but like I said, it can't pull anything right now, but I know how to do it, so it's not really a big deal. So just to show you, I'll just fire it up. Now this chip that's in this one, I took out of my other DB Cargo Class 60, and that had the other speaker, which was the improved speaker, which I wasn't particularly impressed with in the Hornby, but it seems to sound better in the Lima version because the chassis is different. It's a plastic chassis as opposed to a metal chassis, and it's more hollow. So we can just send it off. So the 60 is just coming around. So it's coming around at half speed at the moment. And you can still sort of hear the whine of the pancake motor. But you can adjust the volume. I think this is on number 4, and I think I said I was going to adjust it to number 5. But as you can see, she's running lovely. So as you can see, she's running really nicely. And now I've just got to do the lighting to it and do the repaint and all sorts, and repainting the chassis and all the rest of it. I've now decided what I'm going to do in terms of how I'm going to go about doing this moving forward. But I have to say, it has taken a bit of fettling to try and get this to run properly. I did have issues trying to get it to run properly with the TTS chip in the beginning. So just a word of warning that if you decide to go down this route and you do stick a TTS chip in it, it might not run properly to begin with, because mine didn't. And so I had to mess around with the settings and to get it to run right. And it's now at a point where it seems to be running okay. Now obviously you might need some slight adjustments if I add the smoke generator and the lights, and whether or not it will affect the power output, I'm not sure. But just be warned that if you go down this road, it isn't going to be a straight plug in and play. You might get lucky and it might just run really well, but you might have to tweak it in order to get it to run right. But for now, I'm really pleased with that. So just before I shut it down, I just also to let you know that I was also using it on speed step 28 and 128, and they both seem to be working really well. So far so good with the Lima Class 60 project. It is all taking a bit of time and a bit longer, but I am sort of playing between doing this and the 73. So this concludes the end of today's video. I hope you liked what you've seen. So hopefully the next time, let's just get this. By next time, hopefully, the other 60 will also be fitted with a TTS chip and a Class 60 TTS chip. Like I said, I've already got the socket, and like I said to you before on the last video, if you are planning to convert a DCC a DC loco to a DCC, it is generally better if you can do it to just, rather than hardwire a chip direct to the motor, is if you can do it via a socket, because then that gives you that option and flexibility to be able to swap out the chips if there's a problem with them, or to put a sound chip later on, which is what's going to happen. This one's going to get a sound chip into this, into the other one, and the other one should also be up and running very, very shortly as well. So they're both coming along, the first two 60s. The 73 is also a work in progress. So I've got 3 works in progress at the moment that I'm sort of playing around with. Oh yeah, just to say, that's what I was going to say as well. I nearly forgot. So I'm waiting on the transfers from Railtech at the moment, which should be due within the next few days, for the 73 and my other class 50. But there was another class 60 which I mentioned to you that I would like to get, which was the switch to safety DB Schenker. And that is the red DB Schenker with the switch to safety signage on the side of it. That was out of stock with Railtech transfers, and in the process of me discussing with him about what was going on with the other 60 transfers and the 73, I had actually asked him about the 60007 when he was likely to get it in stock, and I'm pleased to say that he's actually said to me that he's actually updated delivery and he's got it in stock. So he's now sending me that. Obviously he sent me the invoice for it, so I am paying for it. It's not a kind of gimme, but he has now sent me the invoice for it. I've now paid for it, so I'm also going to be able to get the switch to safety DB Schenker created as well at some point. So there's all these lovely little projects to do, which I'm really enjoying. I really love doing the Loco projects. It does take a bit of time, but it also takes a bit of noodle and a bit of courage, and I quite like sort of pushing the boundaries a little bit and experimenting a little bit and pushing myself. So until the next time, it's goodbye from Mildenhall and Volmer. Bye bye, take care, stay safe and stay warm. Bye. Bye bye.